I got started with local search for dentists, I believe, through a little, how would I say, a flyer that was attached to a magazine that I got, I think Dental Economics or one of those magazines. And it was really their first, my first encounter with them was related to their um, offer to help me find more reviews, get more reviews on Google. And so that's how I really started with them utilizing their system. And needless to say, that's been extremely successful for us. We get reviews constantly, and I believe we started at maybe we had 50 or 60 reviews at that time, maybe. We have over 400, I think we have 450 now. We outnumber everybody in town, everybody added together, where we have more than they do. The reviews, you'd be surprised how many new patients that come in, and I'll say a typical question I ask when I meet a new patient is, how did you find out about our office? And a good number of them now say, through an online search or through the internet, and I usually say, was that through Google? And they say yes, that's the number one search engine people use to find us. And then many times they'll throw in, and I want you to know, Dr. Gilbert, I read all those reviews. And I don't know if they read all 400, but they read a lot of those reviews, and they said, I read those, and that really convinced me to come in. I've never seen reviews like that. Or I was so impressed how many people really liked your office. Or I'm very nervous, and a lot of people said that they were nervous too, and your office made them feel comfortable. So they're very valuable to us. The reviews that we get on Google are very valuable to us because many times, typically when I meet a new patient, I will ask them, how did you find out about our office? And a lot of times now they'll say, I searched online, or I used Google. That's the number one way people search for us, is Google as a search engine. And the nice thing about this, when they pull that up, it shows how many reviews we have, which I think right now is more than 450. And they report that, a lot of patients will say, I read all those reviews, or I read a lot of those reviews, and maybe they'll say, your office seems so friendly and so kind from those reviews, or maybe they'll say, I'm a nervous patient and I saw other patients were nervous, but you guys made them feel comfortable. So to me, it really paves the way for people to come in. It's an endorsement of us from our own patients, and I think people see it as almost a referral from a friend. So it's been wonderful for us, very useful. I like working with local search for dentists because I don't have to constantly be preoccupied worrying about where I am on the internet, if things are working on my behalf, if I'm being competitive on the internet. I think they constantly work for me. They're always checking to see my position, tweaking keywords and other, how would I say, details that allow my site and my presence to move up on the internet. My experience with them has been really moving up from the bottom of page one, if I was on it, to fully on page one with every search, to really to the top of it. I mean, we're in first and second place most of the time, and it shows. I mean, we get more and more calls. August, for example, was the busiest month I've had in August in the last 3 years as far as productivity, collections, referrals, and new patients. And we had a great number of those came from the internet. Local search for dentists has really helped us with our new patient numbers, just the volume of new patients, because they have really moved us up on the internet. We had a presence before we worked with them. And in our local area, we don't have a huge town. It's our population of about 100,000 people, but the competition is very stiff. In recent years, we've had a lot of new dentists move in. Some of them are, I would call them, younger and shrewd regarding technology, particularly internet and social media. And so we certainly felt the pressure from that to be competitive. And local search has really put us in a competitive place. I feel like we have a good reputation because of local search. We show up on everybody's searches now, usually near the top of the page in position 1 or 2. Certainly our numbers as far as the new patients that call us show that. We could look back, because we track them carefully, we can look back before we used local search to when we started and now where we are with them, and the numbers certainly show that the work they've done for us has made a dramatic difference. I think local search for dentists is unique because they, from the very beginning, I think they tried to get all the data they needed to create consistency on the internet with all the messages we are sending, making sure all the details, phone number, address, et cetera, were accurate on all the sites. Really, I think they tell me hundreds of sites that they make sure things are accurate on. And they understand what Google is demanding of websites to keep them afloat, and to not only keep them afloat, but I would say to make them thrive. And they're responsive to it. So I think they're up to date. They're constantly looking at what Google is requiring, and they're responding. So to me, having someone do that and not me do that, because so I can focus on my patients and other aspects of my business, is a wonderful thing. I feel very relaxed and comfortable and confident that they are doing what I need for them to do. The expression goes, a man doesn't know what he has until he loses it. And I think probably in my impatience a little bit to maybe speed up my competitiveness, I took a step away from local search for a period of time and worked with a different company. I utilized them for a period of time, a short period of time, I'll be honest with you, less than a year. What I saw was the opposite of what I had experienced with local search. I felt that they didn't seem to have a grasp of the demands of Google, and the rules and regs and the things that Google likes and dislikes. As a result, I think they made some errors in that area. That actually brought me down on the internet. I moved down the page. We noticed a decrease in contacts from the internet, decrease in new patient calls. When it got to its worst point, we had some very, very slow days at the office. We realized there were issues. We assessed that, and in some ways I came crawling back to local search begging them to take me back, and they were very gracious, by the way, and were glad to work with me again. And we made that switch back in the summer this year, probably July 1st. We made the change, and like I said, even after less than a month, our numbers really soared, and we had a wonderful August, the best August we've had in probably 3 years as far as new patient numbers, referrals, collections, and production. So it certainly was a sign that I think we made the right choice to move back to local search. They had never let me down in the past, and they are not letting me down now. Well, after several months of being slow at the office, to see our numbers go back up after working with local search, first of all, we knew we'd make the right decision to return. Secondly, the reality is the buck stops with me, and all the bucks come from me. So I pay all the bills, and we got to keep the business afloat, and we got to take care of our team members, my family, their families. I feel like really I'm responsible to take care of all those people. And so I felt like a sense of relief, a sense of happiness that I can do that and feel comfortable, confident that that will be achieved. I'm not in any way, shape, or form interested in ending my career in dentistry. I love my work more every year. I really enjoy it. The business aspect and the competitiveness is a challenge. And so I want to be competitive, and I want to end on a high note and end at a high spot, and that's my goal. So to me, the future is looking bright because of working with local search for dentists. I truly feel that. I would say this: I made a mistake, I think, in choosing that other group to work with and being impatient. I think that was my error. And you know what? I look at the big picture. I've been in practice for 28 years. I'm going to practice a lot longer. In 10 years, it'll be a blip on the screen. We won't even worry about it, and I think we're just going to move up from here. That's the way I feel about it. So learned a good lesson, Whenever I've tried to contact local search for dentists, first of all, they're immediately responsive, either via email or by phone. Derek has been helpful, John, Jennifer, everybody that I've worked with, they're right on it. They get back to me quickly. I'm a busy man. I always have something to do. And they're right on it. I feel comfortable. I always feel confident that they're going to be back with me, give me the answers I need. When I've been concerned about this or that, it's in 24 hours. They've taken care of it, or they're focused on it, whatever it is. So they're very responsive. The gifts and abilities of the people at local search for dentists are invaluable to my practice and have helped us to really win in our market, I think, in a lot of ways, because they know so many I would just say sophisticated, esoteric details of the internet and how to reach people through that. I consider myself an expert in cosmetic dentistry and other restorative types of dentistry, full mouth reconstructions, things like that. I've done a lot of study in that, etc. I feel the same way about them. I feel like they're experts. I feel like they've done their homework. They put in the hours that are needed to really give me results that show that are measurable. And they are very much on the ball. I would say all the time they're monitoring the data and they want to go over things with me. They're open about that. They want to see that I'm seeing the numbers changing, that I am happy with the results. They check with me. And I get a report on a monthly basis showing all the people that have tried to reach us through their program. We've literally taken the time. I have an employee that goes through it and she takes the time to check number by number if those are active patients, new patients, whatever they are. So we're pretty picky. We want to see results for what we're paying for, and I have to say we get results with local search for dentists. What I would say to a doctor who thinks they can do it all themselves, particularly a smaller practice, and I would say I'm kind of a small practice. I have 10 employees. It's me and 10 employees, 3 hygienists, 2 assistants, and then some front office people. I'm so busy with my patients, and I'm so busy with continuing education, and so busy with correspondence and follow-up and etc. I can't be an expert in marketing. And there is, in my town, I don't know about the other people, but in my town, the competition in dentistry it's extreme. We have a lot more dentists per population than we did 10 years ago. Um, don't ask me why. I don't think we're necessarily the best area demographically to move to. Everybody wants to move here, the dentists I'm talking about. So we're getting a lot of young dentist energy, and they're motivated to be successful in business. I am too, though. I'm competitive, and I'm in it to win it, as they say. And so I think that you have to have good people on your team in order to do that. I work with an excellent periodontist. I work with an excellent oral surgeon. I work with excellent laboratories. I have to have excellent marketing people. I can't do it myself. They really took me to a whole new level that I could never have been doing by myself. I think that working with local search for dentists has given my whole team a different level of confidence. And let me tell you why. And that's because when you start to see, for example, the multiple reviews that we get and hear the positive words, and then you start to see new patients coming in from patient referrals related to that, and just a better position on the internet. Um, Sometimes we need that to be able to believe in ourselves and to know that we're doing something good for other people. And I think that's been very positive. I would say for my whole team, it's been a motivator for all of us. And like I said, I love my job. I love dentistry now more than I did when I started. I find it so enjoyable. I want to do more and interesting things. I'm nowhere near ready to quit. It's like a hobby for me. And so to have enough patients to do that with and to be able to make it economically. And really, in some ways, and I mentioned this earlier, and that is to be able to help take care of my team members and their families and my own family. It is a means to an end. Our work isn't everything in our life, but local search has made, to be honest with you, my job more enjoyable. It's removed stress from me. It's helped me sleep at night. It's helped my income go up. It's given confidence to me and my team members. I can't say enough about how much I appreciate them.